Core TV News, expanding your view.
Many thanks to you for staying the course of the program with us. It's the second part of Core Digest, and of course we still have Bala Zaka very much here with us. Thank you for staying the course.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we were talking earlier and you were saying that this set of people who are not loyal to their country would do anything to bring the nation down, and even the authorities that be in the country, so as to take charge of the nation. Now, a few months back, we thought that the government has been able to contain these insurgents, talking about when you listen to the news, you find a mastermind of a bombing being arrested, you find the arrest of another who was in Sambisa or Damo Forest and all of that. But suddenly, we heard about strike in Abuja, Jos, and not even in the northeastern states that we used to know about. Most people are losing faith in the country, in the authorities, talking about the military in this nation. And if the aim of these people is to take over control of the country and put away the structures that be, what do you see become of Nigeria as against the backdrop of what has been said that Nigeria might likely disintegrate come 2015?
You know, before now we were talking about prophetic wisdom and gifts and pronouncement of people like Nostradamus, the man who saw tomorrow. Prophecies can always be made. Projections can always be made. Forecasts can always be made. But you require fiscal interplay of activities to achieve those prophecies, to achieve those forecasts and whatever, or to achieve results. So if Nostradamus said that you're going to have a collusion of this, that, and the world was going to come to an end in a particular year, and he said A, B, C, D are likely to happen. Comets will collide. This will happen. Nostradamus is long gone, or was long gone. It was left now to those who were alive to see if they could avoid some of these things from happening. It's the same thing if you apply it in the context of Nigeria. If some people foresaw some of the interplays of activities then and projected, correlated, analyzed, synchronized, and came up with likely things that will happen to Nigerians, right? It's also the duty of Nigerians who are among the living to make these things come true or to make sure those things are avoided, especially if they are negative or detrimental, right? In the context of what is happening, right, it is very, very clear, like we said, that the insurgents or the terrorists are after the destruction of Nigeria. Because Nigerians today are experiencing human and capital depletion, right? Human and capital assets of Nigeria are being wasted and destroyed. And that simply means when you put Nigeria among the streams of nations that are truly supposed to grow, and you try to situate Nigeria, Nigeria will fall below the curve or below the line, right? Or Nigeria will not be at par, as people are saying. So it is very clear. But the question also we need to ask ourselves as Nigerians is this: who are really those who don't want Nigeria to grow? Who are those who want Nigeria to go extinct? Who are those who want Nigeria balkanized or broken? I still insist, right, that the traitors, the betrayers, and the tale-bearers are fellow Nigerians. And that is why this fight is looking very difficult to stop or to halt. And like I keep saying, these people are chameleonic. Why? They are a headache to our national army because our national army approach is conventional. The approach of these people is guerrilla. when you say something is gorilla in its approach, it does not follow the mathematical analysis or all this projective analysis you did, or which you simulated in your probably control room as military men, or which you did in Goza Mountain, or your battle, is it shooting ranges? It doesn't, right? These are people, the moment you come close to them, they will, you know, they are chameleon. They will just sublimate into the society. By the time you are settled, they come out. And that's why they are, I'm telling you, local. Because they are only local because that is why they look like me and you. What they could get, there could be international links. But also those who are involved in international links don't wish Nigeria well. But we know that other countries are also trying to help Nigeria to fight this. The long and short of everything is, we are Nigerians. We must resolve our problems ourselves. We should collaborate and get necessary intelligence from advanced countries or countries that have suffered this kind of calamities. We should be willing to share information. We should be willing to process our security data very well, so that when the information comes out, it will be properly managed, it will be properly disseminated to citizens, and the citizens can trust their government.
Of course, the first part of the interview, you were alluding to Martin Muller, where individuals, when it's not happening to you, like in your immediate society, you stand off. And in this situation of the Chibok girls, yesterday was the 100th day, where we had some people coming out to commemorate the 100th day of the abduction of these Chibok girls. And this week earlier, we had the government coming out to say that parents should warn their children not to come out, and not to yield to individuals or groups trying to encourage them to come out for this commemoration of 100th day. What do you feel about this? Because what is the problem in identifying with these abducted girls as against coming out, making other people's problem your own problem?
To be honest with you, I can only give my personal opinion in this face-off, or not really face-off, exchange of banters, you know, between advocates, you know, or propagators, you know, or crusaders of bring back our girls, and as one constituency, and a national government, right, that is supposed to carry the national and political image of its own country. I will have these crusaders on one side, and I will have government on one side. My take, my suggestion, or my recommendation is that these two constituencies or camps should understand that we are supposed to synchronize our thoughts, synergize, and fight a common monster called insurgents, right? And if that is the intention, they should be able to reach some kind of congruency. I see a situation where some or a particular constituency will have the voice, or should be able to be there so that it will be known that these problems are not resolved, right? Then I should be able to have another constituency that probably has the military might, has the financial might, has the political might to do what? To make sure we get the problem resolved. I think what needs to really happen here, it will be more of an appeal. Let there be an understanding. Because you are talking about a situation where this camp is not 100% wrong in its approach. And the government also is not probably 100% wrong in its insinuations, in its feelings, in its perception. But what they both need to understand is we are fighting a common enemy. And when you are fighting a common enemy, that diversity you have, those respective thoughts should be synchronized. And when you synchronize, you will come out with one strong approach.
But how can Nigerians actually deal with this? Because you also encouraged earlier that other people's problems should be our problem. When you were
Correct.
talking about problems, the Nazis and the communists and all of
Yes.
that. Someone, an individual at the commemoration yesterday, actually accused people of going about their daily businesses and not really coming out en masse for the 100th day of this Bring Back Our Girls movement. As a nation, what should we be doing? Should we down our tools to identify with these Chibok girls? Should we stop work? Should we all get on the streets so that they know that we mean business? What should Nigerians be doing at this critical time?
This is the way I will look at that. Remember, Nigeria, I don't want to mention other countries that are truly lawless. There are countries that are truly lawless, no true and real government that have existed probably 20, 30 years ago after they probably dethrone or kill or overthrew their leaders, right? Nigeria is not truly lawless to the point where we shouldn't have still a line of direction and communication. What I'm trying to say is this. The Nigerian military is still, despite this attempt to permeate and destroy it, I still see it as still one united, integrated force, right? I still believe that we still have a government in place, a democratic government, even if people don't call it a full-fledged democracy, even if you call it a pseudo-democratic government in place, right? That simply means somehow, somewhere, some leadership and constituted authority exist. But what we now need to understand as Nigerians is that the fact that you have leaders existing and are there to lead or direct you doesn't mean all the other citizens are what? Are dummies, right? Citizens have what they can offer, what they can suggest to the government. And this is where these crusaders of Bring Back Our Girls come in. No amount of suggestions or recommendations, will be too few or too low to use in encouraging our government. So if these crusaders are saying more Nigerians should identify with this cause, it's positive to me. It's good. If they said, but when they say more Nigerians should identify, we can identify in so many ways. Those who believe in prayers will pray, right? Those who believe in support will support financially. Those who have some creative suggestions to make can do that. You understand? What we shouldn't do at any point in time is to do things that will negatively impact the focus that Nigerians want to have towards supporting and getting these girls back. And that is why when proffering suggestions or solutions, one person may never get it right. But one thing that we need to understand is a government still exists, right? Some laws still exist. And as Nigerians, it's like we are still enjoying the support of friendly nations, right, to curb these insurgents, right? We also discover that we have groups within Nigerians that are truly credible and want to sacrifice their time. So what I would suggest is when you see crusaders who want to sacrifice their time and moments, give them support. Support doesn't necessarily mean I must not go to work, I will go there. Because I may go there and the next time I'm fired. But do I need to send a text? Do I need to pray? Do they have a fund where I can donate and support? You get the point. But while I'm doing this, I also realize that we have a constituted legal government in place where I owe my civic obligation and responsibility.
We have Abib Hashim from Kaduna saying Ramadan is a blessed month of forgiveness and mercy from God Almighty. No God-fearing human creature should ever think of committing evil therein. If anyone commits evil in any part in any of the months outside the blessed month of Ramadan, the punishment for such evil will be doubled if perpetrated in the month of mercy. So whoever did this in Kaduna yesterday could not be seen as someone who cares about the mercy of God. Thank you very much, Habib, from Kaduna. Thank you for your comment. Now, if we're talking about politicians being involved, being targets, and religious leaders, should politicians be afraid? Should they be more careful?
Is a politician a Nigerian? Every Nigerian should not only be afraid, but should be concerned. In fact, based on the text, the message that somebody just sent
Habib,
from Kaduna,
yes.
Habib, I can tell you that I don't really sympathize with only Nigerians. In fact, what is happening, I don't only sympathize with the world or the continent of Africa or Nigeria alone, but even with Kaduna State and Kaduna State governor. You can't believe it. About 2 weeks ago, the governor of Kaduna State came up with a scholarship because everybody is looking for a way to see how he or she can positively, lead his people well, deliver good governance. I learned almost 2 weeks ago, the Kaduna State governor rolled out scholarships, right, for the first time, for people who want to go for PhDs in different fields, then for undergraduate who want to go for medicine. And the scholarship opportunities are expiring this weekend. Many people have not had. So some of us who have had this, who are probably general crusaders and discussants, we've been calling on people, especially indigenous or those who have stayed in Kaduna and are legally recognized and acknowledged to go there, to go and collect these forms. As at yesterday, I knew somebody who went from a very poor family that wanted to collect this form because they had somebody who had more than 5 credits with all the requirements and wanted to read medicine. Do you know that unless this date of granting these scholarship opportunities is extended, those who were planning to go there today or tomorrow cannot have the opportunity? This is just by the side, right? But what we are saying is what is happening to us is a national calamity.
Let me hold you a bit. Qadri Shabab from Kaduna. The problem of terrorism is a global one. Think of the level of unrest all over the world today. Pakistan, Iran, Iraq, Britain, France, Iraq, Afghanistan, Mali, Sudan, Kenya, Egypt, etc. It is APC, is that what you mean, or PDP, that is asking them to kill in all these countries? Okay, is it APC or PDP that is asking them to kill in all these countries worldwide for their political gains? We have to know that this is a battle for us as a country to fight, and we must not turn on each other and give them victory. This is just...
exactly. He was just corroborating what we said.
Earlier.
When you asked, in fact, as if he was just following, you said, is this issues of politicians? And I said, every Nigerian should be concerned because it's almost heading towards a national tragedy. And when you said something is national in nature, it simply means anybody can be affected. First of all, look at the waves of killings yesterday. At the point where this bomb, especially the other one, the Kawo under the bridge, at the time that bomb was going up, did it bother to know whether somebody was a Nigerian, whether you are tall or short, whether you are black or white, right? Whether you are a Muslim or a Christian? It didn't bother. That's one thing about destructive and tsunamic behavior of elements that want to disorganize a country. What we are still saying is this. This is the point at which Nigerians should unite. Fight the common monster. But some of us still want to make a suggestion on a serious note, right? I'm a Nigerian and I have right to my own views. Honestly, people try to tie or connect the release of the Chibok girls with what Americans did, when they wanted to rescue a soldier.
And they released some Taliban.
To be honest, they are not related in this case. For the Americans, the reason why the Americans compromised and did that is because the American soldier is not within the geographical soil of America. But look at Sambisa Forest, right? Sambisa Forest is a location within Nigeria, right? Which all Nigerians have right and powers to. Look at Goza Mountain. There is no Nigerian policeman that will call himself a policeman that has not been to Goza Mountain. In other words, this is within us, or this is within Nigeria geographical soil to contend with. Believe me, at a point, some of us said, if it means deploying all the Nigerian troops, Nigerian military, not to go in and enter, but just surround that Sambisa with their tents and camp, then we, the fellow citizens, will now be cooperating with the soldiers, with the police and civil defense. You know, if you do that, something should come out. And you know, till this moment as we are speaking, these guys, these rascals, that's what I call them, and these disloyal elements still come out, go to neighboring villages, kill people, burn houses, and go back.
Junaid Hassan from Sokoto. Now the mindless sect have spread to every nook and cranny of this country and have capacity to strike anywhere, including Aso Rock. We can only continue to jeopardize the very essence of our existence as a nation if we fail to see that the more we trade blames, the more we empower Boko Haram. Let us forget about APC and PDP and focus on Nigeria. We are being slaughtered. Help us. I think everybody has the same line of thought this morning.
But that's the truth. You see, Nigeria is heading to a crossroad, but it will not get there. You see, why trading of blames should be out of the way is because what is happening has nothing. That was why we talked about the Martin Muller. We talked about so many things. We talk about congruency of ideas between crusaders like Bring Back Our Girl respective campaigns and the government. That was why we also talked about any data that will be processed. You know, you must process data. First of all, talks about raw attributes of entities. The entities at play now are Boko Haram is an entity, right? The Nigerian Security Agencies is an entity. The way you process data will determine how information will come about. Nigerians, I'm telling you, are ready to support the government. We are ready to cooperate with also people who love Nigeria and would want to give Nigeria support.
People have questioned the willingness of the government's forces, the agencies of government in tackling this, because a representative of the Chibok community who was among those sitting out the Bring Back Our Girls movement was mentioning the areas in Borno State that have been taken over by insurgents, one of them being Damboa. And he's saying that these parts, they are physically seen, not hiding anywhere. Now the question is, why has this not been nabbed? Why have we not at least put it to the minimal point if they're physically seen? And you know, there's been these accusations of they task these communities. They ask them to bring money, and if you can meet up with what their demands are, they come to you. And they, looking at the accusation of the people saying they actually told security agencies, they informed them that these people were coming and they did not get help.
You know, strange enough, there are two things sometimes I tend to hold back. In fact, there are two issues sometimes that when discussing, I tend to hold back information. Because sometimes when you give out so much, you don't know if you are actually empowering the criminal or the enemy. You see, when you talk about illegal oil bunkering and the techniques applied, you know, by criminals, when you start talking them on air, maybe their level of sophistication has not even reached there. By the time you start now, you are probably even helping them, because you will think you are educating the public on how these criminals do these things, not knowing that some of those criminals have not even known how to do that. You will not be educated. So this is the way it is with issues that have to do with these terrorists and insurgency. But so with that, let me just tell you something. Strange enough, I school in Borno State. I school in Askira Uba, right? I know all these villages. My primary school has been burnt in Maiduguri. It's called Gwenjewan Primary School. My wife's secondary school, Konduga, you know, that was the first place they went to, government girls secondary school, Konduga. You know, from Maiduguri, they went to Konduga, destroyed that secondary school, right? Then from Konduga to Bama. From Bama now, they started heading towards Goza. That Goza, of course, that's where you have the Goza Mountain, and towards the area where Colonel Madaki discovered the Koma people, right? From there, they went to Madagali, right? From Madagali to Minchika. Then from the other, then they now crossed to another side now, coming towards that Dombua side, right? Dombua now, they have reached a place called Delay. As of last week, these are some of the things I wouldn't really want to divulge because they will make us sad instead of encouraging us. The summary of things is that Nigeria is honestly being attacked, and it's being attacked by people who, for God knows the reason, they don't wish Nigeria well. That's just what I can tell you. Some people are out to just make sure Nigeria is not at peace. And they were able to fashion out their strategy and discover a very weak side from which to launch they will launch this attack. They went to that flank of the country where they know that we have vulnerables, you know, in terms of less education, poverty, you know. You have this course of Almajiris and so on, and they decided to start launching the attack from there. You know, so many things are not going on right. But the key thing we need to do is this. In moments like this, we should all unite. That is the only thing some of us will say. If the military, we feel the military is underfunded, please fund them. Because if you don't support the government to take care of the military and that thing is stamped out, there may be no Nigeria tomorrow. There may be no governor. There may be no political office. There may be no senator. And what are we talking about? There may be no PDP. There will be no ACP or CPC or whatever.
We have Oyediran Tayo from Oshogbo. It would have been a very horrible news should that suicide bomber hit the former head of state. Thank God it came out unhurt. I guess we should now stop playing politics with national security issues and support the president to get rid of these evil men. If the president and the military have not earlier been accused of genocide, with the momentum that the military started the campaign, it would have been tamed, if not stamped out by now. Thank you very much, Tayo Oyediran from Oshogbo. Of course, still supporting what you were saying earlier. Now, should there be elections in 2015, given the size of problems we have on our hands right now?
Well, election starts in, is it in February? Probably 6 months, no, 8 months from now. Believe me, as far as I'm concerned, bringing Nigeria, making Nigeria a stable country should be our priority, right? That is one. There are so many things that have happened whose effect we will see probably in months to come. And some of them are this. If you go to the whole of northeastern part of Nigeria, people don't go to farms again. I'm serious. Because people, especially those areas where those Damboa, Dile, Lassa, Askira, Uba area, Biu, Minchika, Madagali, people don't go to farms, right? It simply means there will be no food. There will be real starvation, because when people go to farm, they are hacked and killed there, right? We are going to run out of other things like the normal meat, cattle, and animal husbandry. Everything is being destroyed. People don't go to work. With all these things I'm enumerating, you can see that positive macroeconomic woes, positive macroeconomic indices have been stopped, truncated, or stunted. It's macroeconomic woes that are likely to face us. That simply means there will be food shortages. So many things will go wrong, right? With that alone, it simply tells you that whatever it will take to get Nigeria to at least the state it was as loyal state status quo ante, economically before we should. But all that we need to do today is to stamp the monster called insecurity. And whatever it will take, we should do that. I wouldn't want to say we should discount the chances of having elections in 2015, because then that means you have already conceded what? Victory to criminals and insurgents. Just like before we met, was it Argentina? Before Nigeria met Argentina, people were already feverish. They were imagining the number of goals. Nigerians conceded, but we did our best. In the case of, we're talking about realities now. In the case of 2015, I will be very happy if election holds. I will pray that election holds in 2015. But between now and probably 3 months to that election, Nigerians should do whatever it takes to fight insurgents. If it means let there be even no political parties, let the general party call Nigerians Against Terrorism Party. Let there just be one political party called Nigeria Against Terrorism Terrorist Party. Let that be the party we will just have. Because if the name APC and PDP leads to coloration and differences in opinion, where that synergy that we expect, becomes dysfunctional, let these names and parties and whatever pipe low, please. I will want to hear less of Olisa Metu and Lai Mohammed. I will want to hear less of APC, PDP. I will be happy to hear Nigeria Against Terror.
Ozemena Nweke from Enugu, we have seen now that this group respects no one, and this is more reasons why everybody should condemn them with sincerity, irrespective of our individual or group political interest. Let's stop playing partisan politics with our lives and innocent Nigerians. Thank you very much, Nweke, following what everybody who has commented has said. You were talking about you hoping that there would be elections come 2015. But of course, there have been several build-ups. Even this year has not ended yet, not talk of 2015 coming. Correct. Though some politicians feel that is a short while between now and elections. But let's talk about the registration of citizens of Nigerians in wherever they reside. We heard about, we heard rumors because the representative of a constituency in Imo said that that issue was not investigated before aspersions were cast on the Imo State government about the registration of Northerners in that state. And recently too, we heard the youths in the North saying that they are given people who want to reside in the North 10 days and those who want to do business 10 days to register and own ID cards. Of course, the president has come out to tell service security chiefs to stop that. But what do you feel this will tell for Nigeria?
First of all, I'm not a politician. I've never been in politics and I may never be, right? I'm a public affairs analyst. I'm praying to be that till the day I breathe my last. I see the president of Nigeria as a national political leader, as a national father of a country, as the mouthpiece of Nigeria, out politically. So I am in tandem with the thinking, analysis, and the utterances or the pronouncement of the president that people within Nigeria should not register, right? If something like that happened in Imo State, I will just wonder and wish it was not true because, first of all, Rochas Okorocha grew up in the North, right? Rochas Okorocha speaks Hausa exactly the way I speak. He understands the North. He is a friend of the North, right? In this case, the whole issue of register indigenous, people wouldn't have been saying you register those from Akwa Ibom. It's an issue of probably a North or an insurgents reading part of Nigeria, and a citizen and another part. So to me, I don't want to believe it is true. But you see, that is why when people play dirty politics, anything is possible. I don't see a situation. I see Imo State and Rochas Okorocha as somebody who is a friend of Nigeria. Let me put it that way. Because you're talking about an Igbo man who has so much to do with the North and speaks Hausa very well, right? And it belongs to also a party that is probably very strong in the Southwest. You understand? So I think I see him as a complete Nigerian. That thing that the president, that instruction the president gave is a very good instruction, because you see, the destructive journey of a million miles starts with one crafty step. You understand? If that step is allowed to continue, it will be very, very crafty. And that will be the beginning of the true success of those who negatively orchestrated the balkanization of Nigeria to be achieved. Because the moment you do that, another part of the country will come up with another way to make sure they counter you or they create things. So all these are, to me, are the grand design. We are saying that there are intentions to make the country lawless and indirectly irrelevant and make the government powerless. So what the government has done is putting a stop to that. In fact, left to me, I'm not an atheist, but left to me, honestly, if we can expunge religion, right, and states of origin from our national documents, that will be good for Nigeria.
Quadri Shabab Kaduna, the problem of terrorism is a global one. We have taken this earlier. Thank you very much, Quadri Shabab. I guess you sensed that twice. Yes, you were talking about removing religion and...
100%.
Yeah, from Nigeria.
And let me explain why, and I will explain it today and now. Immediately you leave the shores of Nigeria as a Nigerian, let me tell you, everything about I am from this part of the country and becomes irrelevant. As I speak to you today, the equivalent of the NNPC equivalent in Saudi Arabia is called Saudi Aramco. If you go there, most of the great non-Saudi workers are Nigerians. You don't even need me to give you names. After now, just Google Nigerians working with Saudi Aramco. You will be shocked. Those people were never recruited because they belong to one part of Nigeria or they belong to a particular religion. They were recruited and are still practicing based on integrity. They are serving the government of Saudi Arabia. Right? Then what happens when you go to the holy city of Mecca, and Medina, and the rest are entirely a different thing. But nationally, right, as a nation, Saudi Arabia knows how to manage itself. That's what we're saying. If you go to Canada, go to the best, some of the best and great universities there. Go to Alberta, go to Edmonton, go to Toronto. Some of the great names are Nigerians. Right? On the 4th of March, either 4th or 5th of March, I was among those that presented papers during the Awolowo Symposium. Right? Awolowo Colloquium, I was there. One of the lead speaker was a Nigerian, a professor who practices in Canada. So what are you telling me? Go to the state of Texas, which is the seat of oil and gas. Right? And go to places like Louisiana. All the great lecturers there, some of the professors and great minds are Nigerians. You see, I started from Canada, right? I now went to the States. Go to UK and go to the North Sea. Some of the great minds there, the great players who are making waves are Nigerians. That's in the UK. Go to places like France. When you go to the biggest oil and gas company in France is Total. Go to Pau and see those who are making waves. They are Nigerians. Right? With what these are things you can Google and see.
So basically, it's a religion and...
So it tells you that the moment you leave the shores of Nigeria, certain things are irrelevant.
Okay, rounding off now, what should the presidency and the leaders in this nation be doing at this point to help Nigeria in these trying times?
The presidency... In this case, you're talking about the leadership of this country. One thing that is very clear is this. Now, politics. Democracy has a universal definition, but it does not have a universal application. It simply means we must practice our democracy based on the peculiarities of Nigerian needs. That's one. Even if a leader is visionary, in this case, let's assume our leader is visionary. If he does not have supportive lieutenants, he is not going to succeed. So we need a democracy in line with Nigerian needs. We need a leader that is focused, and Nigerians need to support him. And most importantly, the lieutenants of our leader needs to be highly supportive.
Thank you very much, Bala Zaka, for your time with us on Kodai just this morning. We've been talking about Boko Haram and the 2-in-1-day blast that happened in Kaduna yesterday. And of course, we've heard a lot of things. First, as the president and those in positions of power are trying to work hard for the sanity in this country, we as Nigerians too should support in this work out of terrorism in this nation. Thank you so much for being there. Tomorrow would be another day. Thank you so much. I am Ebolomo Adekunle.
Core TV News presents a platform with presence in over 30 states of the Federation. Be sure to be had. For live coverage of events, we have the capacity to deliver from anywhere in Nigeria and beyond. Contact us now on 0803 471 8550 or 0803 724 9733. 014-533-407.
Our 24-hour news station.